yesterday we got the first glimpse at the new Spider-Man suit, and I have to say, it might be one of the best out there. Obviously, this is a first look at the suit. I do have some problems with it, and we'll go through those a little bit later. However, I just want to touch on the fact that, firstly, this is a practical suit again, whereas in the previous Spider-Man films and in the Avengers films, his suit has famously been CGI, especially the awful Iron Spider suit that we got. And yes, I'm going to say awful Iron Spider because I simply hate it. The integrated suit, however, I think, like, I can live with that. It was a decent suit from No Way Home. However, again, a lot of the time his suit has been CGI, so it's really nice to see it being more practical, much like the Amazing Spider-Man 2 and Sam Raimi suits. I think that we're now moving into more of a grounded Spider-Man era, which they have also confirmed that Spider-Man: A Brand New Day is going to be a much more grounded street-level film. But back to the suit. So, obviously, you can see the suit in all its glory. Now we've had multiple pictures come out of it. We've had a video of Tom in the suit, and to be honest, he looks great in it. I love the colours that they've chosen. The blue especially is very TASM 2-esque, and as we all know on the channel, TASM 2 is my favourite Spider-Man suit. Live-action Spider-Man suit, at least, anyway. So for me, it's nice to see that they've not only taken on the colour fabrics of the suit, but they've also taken on the textures as well. So we've got this nice brickwork pattern on both the blue and the red from the looks of the images that we've been seeing. And if you're unsure of what I mean, this is what I mean right here. Now, a few people have pointed out that this is essentially just the end scene of No Way Home suit, just different colours. I mostly agree with that, other than the belt. I think that the belt is different, and I'll come back to that later, because I actually think that, me and a couple of friends have discussed this, that the belt should sit slightly higher on Tom, because as it currently sits, it's making him look really short. My main takeaway from the suit reveal is how vibrant the suit looks. That's going to be very lighting dependent, and I love that. So like with the Amazing Spider-Man 2 suit, in the posters it was super vibrant, but when we actually got it in the film, in some lighting, it was quite dark. And I think we're going to have the same thing with this suit. It's going to look super vibrant and super friendly, like friendly neighborhood in most cases. However, when we get into, like, if he's doing stealth or into a very dark scene, then the suit is going to change, lighting dependent, obviously. But the colors of the suit are going to reflect that. I really like how they've chosen their colors for it. We also finally have singular web lines, whereas on all of the others, I'm sure you already know, but we've had these like double webs, and we finally got single solid web lines, which is finally. And I love that Tom's version of Peter has actively taken inspiration from the other Spider-Man that he's met, and I think that's a really lovely thing for this Spider-Man to have done. And we have seen the lenses. A lot of you may not have seen the lenses, but I'll put a picture up of it here, and they do look just essentially like the standard MCU lenses. I was hoping that they would change them, so maybe have them a little bit bigger or something, but they haven't. That's fine. Like, I'm fine about the lenses. I was growing a little bit tired of them being like slatted. I would have liked a bit of a change there, but that's just personal preference. I actually really like the shape of the lenses. I just think if they were flat, more like the Amazing Spider-Man 2 or Raimi lenses, they were just one solid outline, I think it would have a much better effect. But I understand that he can show more emotion this way, I suppose. So, on to the things that I don't particularly like, and I will say that these are just personal preference, and I'm having to be very nitpicky here, because overall, I really like this suit, don't get me wrong. My main gripe with this suit are the web shooters. I don't know what the people at Marvel are thinking, and I'm hoping that this is just version 1 of whatever they're going to go for in the end, but what are these web shooters? Why are they going all the way up the arm? Like, I don't understand that at all. I'm hoping that what it is it's just he's trying to figure out how to remake web shooters maybe a bit more compact, because obviously Tony Stark's made them before, so now he's trying to make them himself. Editing Matt here. On closer inspection, it actually looks like the Webshooters are a rehash of his homemade suit Webshooters. So I'm kind of going to take it back what I said about them, because it's definitely just a version 1 of what he's going to have. So yeah. Either way, cool concept, and I didn't fully realize it at first, so my apologies. The other thing I don't like is the back spider. Now, I understand why they've done it. It makes sense. However, again, I would have liked it if they'd moved more towards like the comic and had like a round back spider and the nice pointy front spider. Would have loved to see that. However, again, this suit might change in the future movies, so we might end up with that at the end. It's just we're not there yet, and that's completely fine. I'm excited to see how the suit's going to evolve. What I hope they do is keep the same suit and just sort of slightly tweak it per film instead of completely changing the suit each time, just because we don't really have just a standard MCU Spider-Man. We have, what, 4, 5 different suits, and that's fine. I just think that in the comics, he's like, there is a staple look for him, and I know we have multiple suits in the comics, don't get me wrong. Take the 2024 Ultimate Spider-Man series, for example. The suit stays the same throughout the entire thing, bar a couple variations. The suit, for the most part, stays the same and doesn't change, and I think that we should see that in the films as well. And the last thing, realistically, is the belt line. Now, this is going to be up for debate, but I've seen a few people talk about it, and I've spoken about it in a couple of group chats as well, so I think it's worth talking about. The belt line sits awfully low on Tom's body, and it makes him look really short. However, if they'd done a similar belt line to the Homecoming belt line, or if it could come down that low, but then had it curve back up over the hips, I think it would suit his body a lot more, rather than making his torso look super long and his legs really short. But saying that, they have taken direct inspiration from the Amazing Spider-Man 2 suit, so it does make sense as to why he would have done it that way. And like I say, maybe they're going to tweak it down the road. We don't know. This might not even be the only suit he has in the film, so we have to bear that in mind as well. Anyway, with that being said, thanks so much for watching this video. Let me know what you think of the suit. Like I say, I love it. I think it's great. I think that the front spider is really cool. I think the back spider, whilst it's cool, whilst it could be different, is also still really cool. Overall, yeah, Marvel is moving in the right direction. I think superhero films are moving in the right direction, just costume-wise. With the Superman film and the Fantastic Four suits looking incredible, just all round, I think that we are moving into a potentially golden age of superhero suits. So we'll see. But yeah, let me know what you think down in the comments below, and I will see you when we have some more Spider-Man news. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time.